Yep, that's it for me, I think. James Gunn has confirmed that Creature Commandos will be set chronologically before Superman Legacy. What happened to Blue Beetle? In the new DCU. And I said, I am confirming I am not buying tickets or resubscribing to either one. Haha, neither or, nor. And so here's the main reason why the title is not clickbait. I like people to know when I'm drinking coffee, so I joined Twitter. IG is James Gunn Mastodon. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about this man, but when I was a kid, Tim Burton, right? Richard Donner, who made the Superman, Batman movies, Bryan Singer, Sam Raimi, who did Xena. I think he did a Hercules as well, right? Both Hercules and Xena and the Spider-Man movies. Did the latest Doctor Strange. Um, I don't know what it is, but he tweets so much. Now there are times where fans make fools of themselves, and James Gunn has to engage. He has to engage in Twitter dispute. And other times, I feel like he's taunting the fans. It's a lot of taunting. James Gunn keeps sending DC Comics to Amazon's bestseller lists. Okay, I don't know. See, it's this stuff that he's doing here. Why wait until the end of the year to share some of the catchiest songs? I don't know what this is. And of course, he has to promote the movie because, of course, he's working there, right? And so it's Peter Safran and James Gunn, right? I think Peter is probably the smartest of the two. But I just see this is what I think of now. And, you look at Richard Donner, you look at Tim Burton, you look at, even Zack Snyder has a little bit of modesty. There's a sense of modesty because most of the time, what is this? Fancy Stairs for a movie that didn't do very well, whatever. Or this could be photoshopped. So there's a sense of modesty among most creators because most creators have lives. Okay, they have to be working. If Zack Snyder took the time to engage with people all the time, I think I would lose a lot more respect. As it is, I'm probably going to watch Rebel Moon. Both movies. I think there's 3 movies total, right? Three movies. So here he is engaging, getting into all this stuff, Historia. I don't know what this all is. He's becoming the face of DC Comics and Warner Brothers. I like the old days when people who were writing, people who were creating, they weren't trying so hard to be liked. I feel like everything is about this, all about this stuff. And the more he tweets, the more he engages with fans, however they're stupid or they're praising, the less serious I want to take any of this. And it takes me out of the fiction that he's creating. I'll tell you, I didn't care. I didn't bother to watch it. I don't know what it was. A bunch of smart-ass people in spaceships from another galaxy, from another universe, didn't immerse me. I always think if you're going to meet aliens from another place in a spaceship, they wouldn't be having Earth-like tendencies. But maybe I'm just being nitpicky for the sake of it. I don't know. I think it's like Expendables would be a far better a reach for me than Guardians of the Galaxy's Volume 1, 2, and 3. All these things. I don't know. This is promoting the movie. Get your tickets. Come on, everybody. And it's like, I feel like it's just like he's the puppet master. He's got the strings going. And somebody dared me. They said, I'm going to go watch it. I am not going to go watch this. In fact, when the night comes of the movie, I'm going to go on TikTok and just show some Superman fan films instead. So I feel the more he tweets, the more he talks to people, the less authentic he feels. I feel about him as a creator. That's the whole point of this. Now, this is Brightburn. David Yarovesky, who did like Night Books and stuff, he doesn't even have a Wikipedia. But he is the least attractive director, and yet I liked this movie. And this is the only movie that James Gunn is connected with, right? And he's the producer, right? He's not the director. and his brothers, I think, wrote the whole script. And this is the only one I really liked. I'm not saying a movie has to be super serious, but somehow I just couldn't get into Guardians of the Galaxy. Maybe it's the context of the whole part of the Marvel universe. Like it just kind of takes me out of it. I just kind of saw it as flashy shit. The Suicide Squad is the only DVD I never bought of all the DCEU DVDs. I never bought that one. I also didn't buy, because I don't have a Blu-ray player. I also did not buy Batman v Superman, but I just wanted the Zack Snyder cut of that, the extended edition. And what you see over here, this is Superman. This is the original Jerry Siegel work. This is the original Jerry Siegel stuff. Okay? Reign of the Superman. Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster's science fiction. Right? This is where it all started. Okay? James Gunn will see this as the, oh, by the way, guys, hey, want to read this? I'm like, he kind of reminds me of Oh My Diaz on YouTube. Oh My Diaz and James Gunn seem synonymous. They can be father and son. I think, and Vinny Vinesauce was just playing Final Fantasy, and he's kind of getting bored of playing Final Fantasy 16. And somebody said, as you're getting older, maybe you have higher expectations. I have higher expectations, but I also like old-fashioned storytelling. But I don't like dumbed down things. And I think I said, if I didn't say it, I'll say it now. I think Blue Beetle would have been a movie that I would have enjoyed in 1995 or 1996 when it was okay to like those kinds of movies. Now you look back and it's like, you look at that and think, this was just too late. We're not going to see a Booster Gold sequel with Blue Beetle. Because remember, they tried this before with Green Lantern. The only thing good that came out of that was Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively getting married. That was the only good thing that came out of Green Lantern movie. They tried to use Green Lantern to start the DCEU, and then they had to go to Zack Snyder. Now, Zack Snyder screwed up with the dark Superman stuff, but I think I liked more than half of Man of Steel and most of the Superman movie. And after, like I said, after all the collections of different kinds of superhero media that I have on page and on disc, I don't really need this. There's nothing that they're going to offer more. This is what James Gunn does. Gets a group of characters. They're all smartasses. Here's what's going to happen. Everybody but Superman's going to say fuck and shit and motherfucker and damn. And Superman doesn't swear because he can't, but he'll be the straight guy reacting to everybody else's kooky madness, okay? As they fight to end the war overseas in Iraq or whatever, the fictional Iraq, okay? First responders, try to make it semi-realistic, but it's the same formula, A, B, C, D. There's some funny shit that goes on, and they all have a spaceship together, and they travel around Iraq, but Superman will fly, and he's been backpedaling with, this is a young Superman movie or not. He's been saying this. Even when somebody from Nerd Theory, right, with Star Wars Theory, the guy said, hey, Henry Cavill's fired. And James Gunn's like, no, he's not fired. Who told you he was fired? You know, James Gunn acts like an idiot on Twitter. Now, it could be he really knows what he's doing and he's got it all figured out, but I really don't think so. And I think if you didn't like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and I sure as hell didn't like The Suicide Squad, it didn't really stick out. I didn't think it was the worst movie I ever watched, but going back, I probably would just give it a C+, B-. I just think it's not a movie I need. It's like Barbie. It's not a movie I need to see again. I don't need to see that movie again. This movie did not need to be seen again. Brightburn, I like watching Brightburn. Now, Grace Randolph did not like it. Some other people did not like it. I coupled this movie with Rob Zombie's Halloween and The Invisible Man that was made 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and Chronicle and The Witch. Like, just these evil superhero stories are really good. And also The Creature from the Black Lagoon. That's also a good one. Just these horrific people with great powers. And, you know, The Boys still has some relevance, but I think each season, and also they killed off, was it Black Noir? Oh, that sucked. That was the one character I felt bad got killed off. It's like, no, don't kill off Black Noir, but they did. And I think those first two seasons of The Boys are very interesting. There's so many interesting stories, but I'm just about done with it. I'm just going to call it. It's not going to be that good. There's not going to be a plan in place, and I might also include the animated stuff. If we get more stinkers like Justice League War World, then that's pretty much it. This is pretty much the end. We got Rebel Moon to look forward to. I have my fan fiction for Masters of the Universe. I still have unfinished fan fictions that I betrayed you all about. Okay, Metal Men's not finished. Superman Dynasty is not finished. Some of my own characters are not finished. I would rather just go through stuff. I'm reading a book right now for someone. I'm doing a fan page, and I'm just kind of doing that for someone. Very, very pretty. Anyway, before I trail off, I go back and look at the old stuff, and that's what all that matters. The old stuff, some of the newer stuff. You go from here, you go through the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, John Byrne, the death of Superman, some of the 2000s with Jeff Loeb, Steel, right? John Henry Irons. You get into what is it? The book one stories, the Injustice stories. Superman Earth 1, book 1, 2. I like book 3 more. And then the last Action Comics run that was any good by Kennedy Johnson. That's 90, almost 90 years worth of story. And this one's from 1933. So we've had time to look at all this stuff. I want to be amazed. I want the things that were conceived on paper and pen and ink to come to life on screen. If I didn't like the Nazi soldiers so much in the preview for Rebel Moon, but if they can add, because it's easy to create the Nazi soldiers and then have them all killed off, and it's a very childish way of establishing the villains. It's good if you're 10, but when you're 30 or 40 and you're creating Nazi soldiers in outer space, you better have some sophistication to that. There better be some depth to it. It's where the good guys think they're the good guys, and they think the bad guy's the bad guy, the other person. So each person has their own defense of why they're doing what they're doing. If Zack Snyder can create something sophisticated like that, I think he could do it Rebel Moon. Otherwise, there's nothing I'm looking forward to. I didn't even like the second Avatar movie as much as I wanted to, but it was a pretty movie. Anyway, I got one more video to make. Check out these books. Check out other books. There's 90 years worth of history of comic books and movies and video games. Where is that Superman video game? Until next time.